Put your hands together for ACHG Production.
We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready. Good afternoon, ACHG Production, reaching for the doggone sky. Just getting ready to have a good time in the night time. Are you ready? Mama, sister, brother.
Fellas, let me give you some good advice.
Tears her apart. They was just a floating. There's a man
On aboard, for this stagecoach is about to move out. It is for everyone that has potential and would love to be a superstar.
Good afternoon, AC for AC Fun Time Superstar. And each week, what we're going to attempt to do, we're not going to attempt to do it, we're going to do it. We would love to bring you some part of the history of Charleston. Standing here with an old friend of mine, Mr. Fielding, and he wanted me, I was at the corner of line, and he said, Chisolm, bring the camera down here. I said, why? He said, I've got a story to tell. Tell me your story.
This used to be J. Arthur Brown's house. J. Arthur Brown, president of the NAACP back in the 50s and 60s, right here. Jonelle, Minerva, Millicent, and J. Arthur Brown used to live here. His office used to be right there. See that little crack right there?
Right.
That was the office, and this was the house, and that's why I came down here. You wanted some history of Charleston.
Right.
I remember when that wasn't there. The crosstown.
The interstate was not there.
The crosstown was not there.
Tell me, go ahead.
Dodd Hall Library right around the corner on
Dodd Hall Library, remember that.
Library on Cracky Street. Oh man, we used to cut through Kennedy Place from Bogart Street. Excuse me for moving, but we used to cut through from my grandmama's house on Bogart Street, come through Kennedy Place right there, come around to Whitney and get 10 cents worth of bologna.
This was Whitney's store right here.
Whitney grocery store, yes sir.
And tell me something about King Street. What used to be, what was King Street like back in the 60s? You know, we didn't have the mall, right? Talk to me about that.
King Street was downtown Charleston. You wanted anything, you had to go downtown Charleston.
And it would be elbow to elbow.
Absolutely. Christmas time, every place you look. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. I used to love Charleston. I love my city now.
Right.
Oh Lord, yeah. Let me think now.
Come on.
Shoot, this was the avenue, the big tree. My grandmama I grew up in my grandmama's house at 295 Ashley Avenue.
Right.
Chickens in the backyard. You can't even have chickens anymore in your yard in the city.
Understand.
Oh man, this is
history. Tell me, we had one radio station. What was that?
WPAL.
Thank you very much.
WPAL, yes sir.
People don't remember that.
Oh, I remember that. But back in the days when my grandmama moved from there, they moved down to 237 and then around here to 89 Bogart Street. My grandmama, Johnny Crab, used to come from off of Lawrence Street. He'd come around every day pushing his crabs on one side and shrimp on the other side. My grandmother, I couldn't have been 6 years old because I wasn't in school. My grandmama would hand me a nickel. And say, go outside, catch Johnny Crab and get some of them shrimp. You'd give him the shrimp, he'd take a real pie pan, not that little tin foil, aluminum foil junk.
Right.
A real tin pan, dip down in the shrimp, that was a nickel's worth.
What?
That had to have been 2-3 pounds of shrimp for a nickel. I'll never forget that.
What would that cost now?
Woo, $5, $10, $15.
$5 or $10, $15. And back
$5 a pound, that would have been about $3. 3 pounds, that would have been $15.
About $15. And back then we used to get soda for what?
Oh, a nickel.
Y'all not gonna believe this. Say it again.
A nickel. I remember a nickel soda, and then it went up to a dime, and everybody thought, oh, cigarettes were 25 cents. Oh, I remember they used to deliver milk with the wax on the top. Do you remember that?
Yes, you remember when we didn't have a refrigerator, we had icebox, and we had to pay I forgot how much we paid for the ice to put in your box.
You had an icebox. I still got one.
Listen, I want to thank you again for this interview, and we're going to come back and talk with you sometime in the near future, because each week we want to come to you with some part of the history of Charleston.
You need to talk to Daddy.
We're going to do that.
We'll put it together.
Because, you know, if you've got a dream, if you've got a vision, you need to get started. Because what he's talking about was many years ago, but it seemed like it was just yesterday.
Absolutely.
And if you don't start your dream and your vision today, tomorrow could be just too late. We want to thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And my name is Arthur
Thank you.
Chisolm, AC, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Secret Band and Show.
Where did you come from, baby? And who wants to take me there? Gotta wait on you, baby. Tenderoni, you got to be. Spark my nature, sugar, fly with me. Don't you know now? It's perfect time. We can make it right in the city lights. In a night, ease of love and pain. Let me take it to the max. I want to love you. Pretty young thing, you need some loving. Tender love and care, and I'll take it there. Oh, ooh, I want to love you. Pretty young thing, you need some loving. Tender love and care, and I'll take it there. Pretty young thing, repeat after me. Say na na na, na 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 na. Say na na na, na na. Take you there, take it there. I want to love you. Pretty young thing, you need some loving. To the love and care, and I'll take it there. Yes, I will. I want to love you. Pretty young thing, you need some loving. To the love and care, and I'll. We got any pretty young things in the audience today? I see you, girl.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Elder Carly Town, and
AC for the AC Fun Time Superstar, and as different today, Elder Carly Town is kicking off. We did Mr. Fielding this morning, and I kicked it off. Elder Carly Town. Where are we?
we are now at Rose Florist on Spring Street, and we have a Mr. Donald Bennett, who's been in business for 42 years. Can you believe that in this time of day? Mr. Bennett, please tell us a little bit about your shop.
Mr. Bennett, tell me this. What made you go into the flower business?
Well, as a child, I was about 16 years old, and I didn't go to school like I should have. I don't advise anyone to do what I did, because today you need a good education. But I was about 16, and I didn't attend school like I should. And my mother told me that if I wanted to eat at her house, I either had to go to school like I should, or I had to get a job. So I didn't go to school like I promised. So I went out, looked for a job, and I walked into a flower shop. And I praise my mother, and I appreciate her every day, because she demanded that I make a man of myself. And this is why I'm in the flower business, and this is why I have worked hard for 42 years to be a blessing to my mother and to myself. It's been hard, but I'm very proud of the fact that I have achieved.
I'm proud of you also.
Yes.
And I also want to say to the audience, if there's something that you've got in your heart or in your mind, or if your mother's tugging after you, I say get started. This gentleman has been here for 42 years. Had he not listened to his mother, where would you think he have been right now?
I probably could have been on drugs today. I've never taken drugs. I don't even know how drugs look.
But off camera, you told me that you were hanging out with the guys.
Yes. As a youngster, we would, cut hooky and play on the
trouble.
play on the park and do other things. But I'm glad I made the decision to be a better person. And all of this, I'm very proud that I have lasted for 42 years.
And I would also like to say that we are right around the corner from where the legendary historical WPL used to be. They used to be on Walpole Road, but they used to be right around the corner from you. And I want to really thank you because someone somewhere right now is probably watching this show and probably thinking about the fact that if they can get a vision, a dream, a desire, a purpose, and can just get started and stick with it. Because when all the others fall aside that weren't serious about whatever that they wanted to do, you will stand, such as this gentleman has stand for 40 years and will become a legend. Yes. And I want to shake your hand and thank you very much. And I know somebody is going to watch this show today and become something. AC.
Fun Time Superstar and the Baby Boomers.
And we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
The other side of the Secret Band and Show.
Oh, baby, yeah. Give it to me, baby,
Wow. Check it out, y'all. If you want me to stay, I'll be down today. See, baby, for you, see, I'm about to go, and then you know, for me to stay here, I gotta be me. There would be no doubt what was all about. Can't take it, man, in that smile. Baby, gone up, get it with you to my phone. I promise I'll be gone for a while. Hey, when you see me again now, all things that have been the kind of person that really are now. I gotta get it straight. How could I ever be late when your woman taking all my time? Oh, how could you ever allow? Say I'm wondering how. Baby, come on, give me your loving. When you know that you'll never know good. Number one, you're gonna be number one. Yeah, I'll be good. I wish I could. Say over to you now. Yeah. Shoot do. Shoot do.
Good afternoon, AC Fun Time Superstar, all over town, the number one spot in town. We are sitting here at LJ Legendary Spot.
But you know, I'm ready for the show to go on.
I tell you, when you come to LJ, when you eat, you just want to take your shoes off and get comfortable. But anyway, we're sitting here with his daughter, and I would like to speak with her. What's your name?
Safiya Grant.
What year did y'all open this business?
1985.
1985. Elder Colley, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did, and that's a wonderful thing. And tell me a little bit about how is the business going now?
It's growing, it's changing. As far as the business was basically family. So now because it's non-family members. So when you have family, you just listen, you adhering to the hierarchy, which is granddaddy. You're going to do granddaddy said. You're not going to buck against granddaddy. And you really have to get that structure in there because there was never no structure in here. So by me coming into, I'm bringing structure, policies, uniform, you know what I'm saying, guidelines, health regulation, sexual, harassment. We don't have to deal with that when it's family, but dealing with, and we just got to step up our game, going to the next level.
Oh, I love that. So what you're telling me, when you came to the table, you brought business. In other words, when it was just the family, you just said, Granddaddy said you can't do that, and Granddaddy said this, and Daddy said that, and everybody take heed. But when you have employees, you have to have guidelines, you have to rules and regulation. It's a whole new ball game, and I understand what you're saying. And right now, would you look into that camera right there? and encourage someone that's got a family and's got a business, what should they do?
Just hang in there. But if it's not in you, it has to be in you. It has to be something that you want to do in order, you know what I'm saying, glue, it has to stick. And because of my love of my father, that's why I'm sticking and hanging in here. But not everyone has that glue. That's something that's within. But you can still be there to get some type of the knowledge. You should just leave it to fate.
In other words, what you're telling me, you have to want to do what you're doing. Right. But now, isn't it also true that even sometimes if it's not in you to run the business, shouldn't someone in the family take some interest to at least learn what goes on in the business? Because we are losing so much of our black heritage and our businesses.
Right, and start young, because I wash dishes, clean shrimp, you know what I'm saying, clean the yard. You know, my daddy said you have to work for what you want, so that's what he installed in me, and I believe in all his kids. If you want something, you got to work for it. So he said nothing was given to him. So I think we take along that. You just got to work for what you want. But it is important that it stays in the black community, because how I look at it, coming up, black restaurants always hole in the wall. I'm like, well, why can't we have like a higher stand, like a Red Lobster, and be catered by our people, and the building is owned by our people? But it's hard to get that customer service from a black. I just think we just need to step up our game as a whole, as a black community.
Well said. AC Funtime Superstar, and we'll be back to speak with LJ's daughter sometime in the near future, because what she just said to you is we need to step up our game. And if you want something, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to pay your dues. And if you've got a dream, a vision, something inside that you want to do, she said it herself, out of the mouth of babes. She said you're going to have to get started. Start young, because tomorrow is not promised to you. We'll see you on the other side. Elder Colleytown, you have any closing words?
I just want to say I'm just so glad to see the young people stepping up to the plate and making it happen. We call it Sankofa, go back and fetch.
Elder Colleytown said, you got to go get it. We'll see you on the other side. Love you.
Swear
one of the members of Burke High School marching band, the Marching 101. I was one of the drummers in the band under the direction of Mr. Melvin Hodges Jr. I graduated in 1963. I also played with Melvin Hodges outside in his dance band. Also, a real native of Charleston, South Carolina. I left Burke High School. We celebrated our 100th anniversary in 2010. I am on the board of directors of the Burke High School Foundation. Right now, we are still trying to hold our school together. They're trying to take it away, but no, we're still fighting to try to hold it together. Now, that school was a trade school, but they even transferred over. I was not here, but if I was here before they changed it over, I think we would have fought to keep it like it was. Now in the city of Charleston, you don't have a trade school. You have to be bussed out. And Burke High School was the only trade school on the peninsula. And as a matter of fact, it was the only black trade school in the city of Charleston. So there's a lot of history, and we had a lot of fun at the old Burke High School. There's been a lot of changes to talk about Burke High School. All right, thanks very much.
AC Fun Time, AC Fun Time Superstar, sliding slow, getting faster as we go in the evening time. If you would please put your hands together once again this afternoon for Secret Van and Chill. Telling everybody, take a load off.
I pulled into Nazareth, I was feeling about 10:30. I just need some place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a girl might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand, and no one was all he said. Take a load off, Betty. Take a load free. Take a load off, Betty. Hey, put the weight on me. I picked up my bags. I went looking for a place to hide. When I saw Common and the devil walking side by side, I let Common, come on, let's go downtown. She said that I gotta go, but my friend stick around. Take a load off, Betty. Take a load for free. Take a load off, Betty. Hey, put the weight on me. Go down, Moses. There ain't nothing that you can say. It's just like cold waiting on the judgment day. Well, look, my friend, what about Annalie? He said, do me a favor, said keep Annalie some company. Take a load off, Betty. Take a load free.
AC Fun Time Superstar, Elder Colley Town. Do you know who we are sitting right next to? Do you know this is one of the legends of our low country? And you know, we interviewed his son last week, and I said to him, wow, thank you for all the, he said, you need to talk to my daddy.
I hear that.
And I said to him, I know.
I know, right?
Elder Colley Town, is there anything that you would like to know about our city? Because this is the man
I know.
that can answer any question that you have.
I know he is.
Hold it, Elder Colley Town. Well, Elder Colley Town. Let the people know. Not that they don't know, but this is Elder Colley Town, co-host for AC Fun Time Superstar. Elder Colley Town, you've got the mic.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure, a plum-pleasing pleasure to be here with Mr. Fielding. Mr. Fielding, please tell me. I'm so excited, and I want to know a little bit about what you know. Give me some information about your funeral home when you started it, a little bit about Charleston, because I know you've done a lot of things.
Yes.
The funeral home has been right here for about 102 years.
102 years.
Yeah, we started down on the corner of Short and Logan in we stayed there about 5 years, and then we moved up here, and we've been here ever since.
Been right here 102 years.
Right on this street, yes.
Logan Street.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Fielding, tell me a little about our low country. I tell you what, take my mind back to 1960. Just close your eyes right now and go back.
As far as the hospital strike, that goes back to Mary Moultrie.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, and Mary was a good friend of mine, and not Esau, but Bill Jenkins.
Yes.
And I was very active, helping them during the hospital strike, and a whole lot of what we'd done since then came out of that hospital strike area. Mm-hmm.
Tell me some of the things that took place during the strike, and not necessarily the hospital strike. Tell me a little about, like I said, if you close your eyes and let your mind go, you know, we had King Street and everybody did all their shopping on King Street. I can remember when you used to come in Tobias Barbershop on Spring Street. You remember those days? I remember. Tell me a little about Tobias.
Toby Tobias was a very close friend of mine, and he was very active in the political movement during that time when we got started with Margie Amos and the folks from the cigar factory.
Yes.
That's really what started the political movement, because we used to get people from the cigar factory, and when they got off, and we'd take them directly to go to vote.
Because I had spoken to Miss Ernestine Tobias Felder, and she told me the story about when Martin Luther King came here. Were you a part of that?
Yeah.
Okay, would you tell us a little bit about it?
I was in that march when some folks on the sideline threw bricks at us.
Oh, really?
This was Martin Luther King. Was he really a nonviolent guy?
Oh, definitely, yes. Certainly. Mm-hmm.
He was not about violence.
That was really his philosophy, nonviolence.
Well, tell me this, Mr. Fieldings. I'm listening, and as I sit here, I process what you're telling me. And it seems like we were on the right track back then. It seemed like we worked together as a people. It seemed like we really negotiated as far as trying to get things to the right level in life so we can have prosperity and all that. Where did we go wrong? What happened?
I think what happened, we got away from the segregated South of Charleston as it was, and integration took over, and then our folks got integrated, and they forgot about the old segregated days.
Yes. They forgot about each other.
Yes.
What do you think?
That's unfortunate, but that is really what happened.
So tell me this. Right now, would you take the time, look into the camera, and tell the audience, if you had the opportunity to talk to some of these young kids, what would you tell them that could get their minds tuned into what we used to do and how we made things work? What would you say to them that could probably open a light in their heads?
They are to understand what we had to do during the segregated period, and also look back and see where we need to go now.
Right.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been interesting, and we're going to be back to talk with you at another time, a later date. And I promised your son we're going to be doing this every week, and we want to try, if it's okay with you, we would like to stop in at least once a month.
Okay.
And we want to call this
I love it.
the son said whenever we come, he's going to name this segment My Side of Town. And I like that. You stay tuned, AC Funtime Superstar. We'll see you on the other side.
On aboard. Get ready for the play. The Gullah Geechee Conversation just want to testify.
October 2nd, 7 to 8 p.m., 5060 Dorchester Road, Scott's Grand Banquet Hall, North Charleston, MojartFestival.com for a ticket. Mojart Festival, Office of Cultural Affairs, City of Charleston, presentation. For information, 843-735-2189.
And stay tuned to AC Funtime Comcast C2, Friday nights at 12:30, Saturday morning at 9:30.
Yeah,
Be there.